It was a typical evening, and I found myself alone at home while my parents attended a late-night event. I was used to being on my own, and the quiet house usually brought a sense of comfort. But that night, something felt different. Something eerie hung in the air. I settled into the living room, the soft glow of the TV providing the only source of light. As I watched it, an unshakable feeling of being watched washed over me. I dismissed it as paranoia and tried to focus on the show. Then came the first unsettling sound, a creak from the hallway, as if someone had stepped on a loose floorboard. My heart raced, and I muted the TV, straining to hear any other noises. Silence followed, but the sense of unease lingered. I tiptoed to the hallway, my pulse pounding in my ears. The house was supposed to be empty, but what if it wasn't? I grabbed a baseball bat from the closet and cautiously made my way upstairs. The bedroom door was ajar, and the darkness within concealed any potential threat. With trembling hands, I pushed the door open and flicked on the light switch. Nothing could have prepared me for what I saw. A man, a complete stranger, stood by the window, staring at me with vacant eyes. He was disheveled, his clothes torn and stained. My voice failed me as I raised the bat defensively. His lips curled into a sinister smile, and he took a step toward me. Panic surged through me, and I swung the bat with all my strength. It connected with his shoulder, sending him crashing to the floor. With adrenaline coursing through me, I raced downstairs and dialed 911. The police arrived within minutes, apprehending the intruder. Turns out he had broken into our home, seeking shelter from the cold. He claimed he meant no harm, but his presence alone had turned our quiet night into a horrifying ordeal. From that day on, I've never felt truly safe at home alone. The creaks and shadows that once seemed innocuous now carry a chilling weight, a reminder of the night an uninvited guest turned my solitude into a living nightmare. My parents had gone out for their anniversary, leaving me in charge of my younger sister, Emily. I was used to babysitting, and the thought of a quiet evening at home didn't bother me. Little did I know, that night would be far from ordinary. After putting Emily to bed, I settled on the couch, engrossed in a book. The house was silent except for the soft ticking of the clock on the wall. As I read, an eerie sensation washed over me, as if I were being watched. I dismissed it as nerves, attributing the feeling to the dark, unfamiliar house. But the unease persisted. Every creak of the floorboards and whisper of the wind outside set my heart racing. Then, a faint giggle echoed from upstairs. Panic surged through me as I remembered Emily was supposed to be asleep. I crept up the stairs, the darkness of the hallway feeling suffocating. The bedroom door was open, and Emily lay in bed, her eyes wide with terror. She whispered about the shadow in her room, a figure that had whispered to her from the closet. Fear gripped me as I scanned the room, seeing nothing amiss. I assured Emily it was just her imagination and tucked her back in. As I descended the stairs, the unsettling feeling of being watched returned. I froze as I heard it, the unmistakable sound of footsteps above, creeping down the staircase. I snatched Emily from her bed, rushing out of the house and dialing 911. Within minutes, the police arrived, searching every inch of the house. They found no intruder, but my sister's terrified testimony was undeniable. The police assured us they would patrol the area, and my parents rushed home. We moved shortly after that night, unable to shake the feeling of dread that had tainted our once beloved home. I never found out who or what had been in that house, but I knew one thing for sure. Some fears are very real, and they can strike even in the safety of your own home. My parents had gone on a weekend getaway, leaving me alone in our cozy suburban house. I was accustomed to solitude, so I relished the freedom and independence. Little did I know that my sense of security would soon unravel. The first night passed without incident, but on the second night, as I was watching TV in the dimly lit living room, the landline phone rang. I hesitated, not expecting anyone to call so late. When I picked up, a voice, distorted and chilling, greeted me. It was a stranger who seemed to know details about me that sent shivers down my spine. They spoke of my daily routine, the layout of the house, even what I was wearing. Panic gripped me as I realized the caller was watching me. I hung up and called the police, but they assured me it was likely a prank call and promised to patrol the area. As the night wore on, the phone rang again and again, each time the caller's voice growing more sinister. They threatened to come inside to make themselves known to ensure I was never alone again. Terrified, I locked all the doors and windows, my eyes darting nervously around the house. Every creak of the floorboard sent me into a frenzy. Then, as I peered through the curtains, I saw a figure lurking in the shadows of our backyard. It was the caller, their eyes gleaming with malevolence. I fled to my neighbor's house, where I called the police once more. They arrived quickly, but the intruder had vanished. My parents returned home and we moved shortly after, haunted by the memory of that night. To this day, I don't know who the caller was or what their intentions were, but the feeling of vulnerability in my own home still lingers, a chilling reminder that danger can lurk even in the most familiar of places.